Hey everybody, welcome to my video of my three, of many, but these are three licks exclusively that I've learned from a Brent Mason tutorial video. Brent Mason's one of the well-known guitar players in Nashville. Amazing player. And so I thought I'd cover a few of these licks. But the first thing I want to do is give a shout out to the PG Music, which is a company that produced the tutorial, the Brent Mason guitar tutorial for these licks and many others. It's a company I believe based out of Victoria. But if you go to pgmusic.com, you will be able to find all kinds of excellent products made by that company. They also made Band in the Box, Power Tracks, many other different things. But they did a video, this is years ago now, that I learned these licks from the Brent Mason Guitar Star video tutorial software that they make. And believe me, it's well worth the investment to go and purchase that product, because there's a lot of really good country licks on there. Or I haven't really seen much of the other tutorials, but I think within the way, if they do this the same thing they did with the Brent Mason one, it's really well done, and it's very informative and simple to follow. They've included, with the Brent Mason, they include a little video tutorial for each lick. So really good investment. Shout out to PG Music, and of course shout out to Brent Mason for doing that with them and coming out with this great tutorial. But I just wanted to cover a few of these licks because they're great licks for any standard country or even blues progressions. Now, getting into the lick now, these licks are based off the dominant 7 kind of scale, the Mixolydian, or flat 7, if you will. It's a major scale with a flat 7 note as opposed to that note. You just flat the 7. That's your Mixolydian mode. If you're not sure of that one, study the mode a bit and you'll kind of see. So what I'll do is I'll start with the first lick we did here, and I'm going to do all of these a little slower now first at this point. So this is the first lick I did from that little intro. This is slower now. Okay. So what that we've got there basically is, again, it's going to be in the key of A, dominant kind of 7 lick, and again can also be interpreted as a blues lick. So what I've done here, what's happening here is I've got this kind of formation going here. If you're familiar with the slide up pentatonic kind of position here, it's based off of that. But what I'm doing here is, instead of sliding in, which you could also do with this lick, I'm just barring here and hammering on to the fret, to the 9th fret. So, and then I'm also barring the rest of the 3 strings, because you can include the high strings in this. It's not just a 2-string lick. And then our next step here is to go down to the 7th and just simply bar all 3 strings. Then we're down to the 5th. We're going to hammer on to bar the 5th and hammer on the G string again here to get that resolved to the A chord. Then what I've got, what's happening here is I'm sliding down from 7 to 5, and the shape here is, as you can see, it's kind of like a backwards D shape, if you will. And that's almost like a 6 chord, but we just slide that down this way. So it's, and you could also interpret that as a piece of a 9 chord as well. That would be an A9 chord. So if you think of an A9 chord with these 3 notes, and then it's just being slid down from the 7th to 5th. So one more time, we're up here, we bar all these 3 and then hammer on the G string. And we bar the 7 and then hammer on again from the 5th to the 6th on the G. And then we just slide from 7 to 5. And I'm saying 7 to 5 meaning the 3rd finger. So I'll try that again slow. basic lick, that one, and it again could be used in a blues progression. If you're playing blues, that's an easy one to fit in there. So, okay, the second lick now. The second lick done slowly. I'll do that right now. Okay, so that a lick again is based off the dominant Mixolydian mode or flat 7. And what I've got here is this is our A root note. So whenever we're converting this to any other key, just think of if I was in G, for instance. Just think of your G pentatonic, and that'll be the root there. But if we're in A, I'm gonna pivot off of this index finger for the root, and then I'm using second finger here on the 11th fret. So first of all, I'll show you the patterns as we move down. It's going to be this shape, move down a whole step with the same shape. Then we get to the 7th fret. They're both notes will be on the 7th fret of the D and the B string. And that's just moving down chromatically. Of course, there's going to be a little more of a pull-off motion when we do the actual lick, but these are the pattern. This is the pattern. And then we're moving down to the 4th and 3rd fret. And then when we get to the last, basically A major position, I'm just rolling off of the 1st and 2nd fret on the B string, and then hitting these two strings on the 2nd fret, and then pull off the 3rd fret. So again, real slow. Of course, as you notice, there's a little more to the lick than actually just these shapes, though you can use that as a simpler form. There's a bit of a pull-off going here. It's a bit of a ghost note with a bit of a pull-off off the B string, and sometimes I don't accent it all that much, but you can if you like. That's the kind of the motion I'm getting off of that is. So the first one I don't pull, and then I do pull. Then we're to here. So let's try the whole thing. And again, that's this. Okay, so one more time, we've got the shape here off of the 11th and 10th. Then we move that down a whole step. Then we play the D and the G string on the 7th, and move that down like that. And then again, when I get to the I guess the 6th fret, I just start doing a bit of a pull off the B string. Then we're to the 4th and 3rd fret, and then to the. So I'll try that again. I'll try this one at a fast tempo. Here we go. That's lick number 2, and again, if with a little persistence, practice that slowly at first, it won't seem that hard after a while. And again, you can apply these to different versions of your own licks if you choose to do so. But the idea is the same. You're dealing with these little interval licks, and with a little bit of a pluckingness, and I'm going to show the right hand technique at the end here as well, which is mostly just picking fingers, but you can still do it with a pick. You won't have quite the same effect with the pull-offs, but you can still do it with a pick without using fingers. Okay, so that let's go to lick number 3. Now this one again I'll do at the slower pace. Sorry, let's try that again. this particular lick is I really like because it's got we're utilizing 3 notes here as well. But what we've got here is it's very similar in the respect that what we did for the lick number 2, these 2 notes are the same. But what we've done now is we've added a higher note, so it's the root note and then the major third at top here. So what I've got is these 2 notes and then the higher note. And then I'm sliding that position down, same position down a whole step to there. So that's pretty basic. It's almost the same as the other one, but we've added a high note. Now what we're going to do is take this exact same shape and shift to the next strings below. So this will be A string, then we've got the G string, and then the root note here, or on the B string, the A note. So we've got that shape. Now what we do from there is we take that down chromatically, like that. So then from here, when I get to this position, you can basically leave this third finger where it is for the whole process. But here we're going to bar this instead of using this shape. We're going to bar this here because that's going to be the right notes for our dominant scale. But we go chromatic here. And then again, it's the same ending as the other lick where we just bar this and hammer on for the resolve for the A7 chord. So I'll do that again at slow tempo. And as you can see again with this lick, there's a little bit of that ghost note pull off that I'm doing as well. So I do have that little bit of a pull off there. It's almost, if you think about it too much, it gets in your way. So you just kind of pull it off. So let's try that again. I'll go up to the high tempo for that again. Okay, so with the right hand, I'm basically using a pick, but I'm also using double stops. So I have the 2 fingers kind of going together at all times, or most of the time. So for the first one here, when we're doing, that's just together with the thumb and 2 fingers. As you can see, the right hand there. Whoops. It's just basically that technique, and it's with any double stopping technique, you're going to want to get used to getting these 2 fingers, or if you're just strictly a thumb pick or thumb guy, you can use the other 2 fingers and do the same thing. But it's the same concept. You got to get that double stop feel with these fingers. Now for the other lick, I'm just using the pick and 1 finger. A bit of both at the end. Well, a bit of both all the way through, but pick finger. And then finally for the last lick, same idea. We get the pick, the pick, and then 2 fingers. Like that. So again, get used to the idea of, and then if you check out my other, I do have another video. I did a 5-minute workout for double stops, and I was just strictly doing these double stops in the major key, I believe. Not the dominant key. I believe that was a major key kind of lick. But anyways, get used to the idea of, if you're not used to it already, pick and finger. And there's a couple of different things you can do to get used to that. You can just comp on a chord, even if it's just a simple bar chord, and then you can go back and forth. And that's the easier version of the 2 styles of doing this. Tommy Emmanuel does more of a, and much more than that. But the idea here is to get that double stop. Get used to that. That's using your magic fingers right here. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions, you want to hear see some more tutorials on country licks, I'll be happy to do some more. So I'll go up with those 3 licks. Have fun with these, and I'll see you next time.